Good evening, everyone. My name is Leah Mulhearn, and I will be chairing tonight's facilities meeting. We will start the meeting with the roll call, starting with Mr. Burdell Williams.
Charles Burdell Williams, present. Ross Whiting, present.
Pamela Henry, present.
Nina Blitzstein, present.
Robin Murphy, present.
Jennifer. Thank you all so much. First up on the agenda is to approve our minutes from the last two facilities meetings. So I would like a motion to approve both the September and October minutes, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Let's see. Second, Mr. Burdell Williams. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you so much. And we will move on to our presentation. Mr. Sweigard.
Thank you, Leah. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Carter is out this evening, so I'll be taking over and presenting facilities committee meeting to the best of my ability on some of these later slides. All right, so as usual, wanted to start with an update on the strategic plan and the current projects that are underway. So first and foremost is the stadium renovation. So both sides bleachers are completely done. The installation crew has them installed and they are out. This picture is from last Thursday. As you can tell by the rainy weather, things have already looked significantly different, even from last Thursday. The goalposts are up. There's some more concrete stonework done, and paving has begun, adding the extra 2 lanes for track season, particularly right here in front of the bleachers. I showed these pictures because some of the infrastructure is now going in. You can see this is one of the long jump pits has been installed along with the high jump pad. And these posts here, these are ball stopper netting. So when track is practicing and the lacrosse team is using the field at the same time practicing, there's no interference with both sports occurring at the same time. And down here, just a picture of the away bleachers fully installed and all of this fine gravel to be spread out. Now that this drainage work has been done around the perimeter of the track, and you can see that was one of the long lead time items we were waiting to get done. You can see this drain was added, additional concrete was added. That was quite a time-consuming task. So I would expect before the end of the month you'll see the turf on the field, and you'll see all of the stuff inside the oval completed, and you'll see the asphalt prepped and ready for final top coat in the spring. All right, so
Can we do stadium questions really quick? Or
Sure.
are you still doing?
sure, this is still stadium.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do that first.
Carry on.
So looking at cash flow, we have expended more to date. So we still have approximately 5.7 million more left in contracts to expend, and approximately 6.4 million more the entirety of the contract to spend as well. We do have some change orders, some large change orders, coming back to the district to hopefully reduce that total cost. And when we close out the project, we'll look at the total cost results. Now I'm ready. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you.
Can you just go back to that first slide? Yeah. My question was about the asphalt. Can you just repeat what you said about when I just missed something you said in my notes about when things are complete. Like when will we see the turf?
Oh, gotcha. So they're installing stone and the base asphalt and adding the 2 lanes of the base asphalt, the 2 lanes on the main track runway in front of the stadium here, which is why you can see there's some space between the track and the bleachers. That's because the additional 2 lanes that go in. But because the weather has turned relatively quickly here, the finer asphalt that we need, the top coat before you put the track on, that's going to wait till the spring. Since they can't put the track down anyway, they decided there's no need to rush and try and find the plan and spend extra money, keep the savings, and do that all in the spring.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other stadium questions?
All right, next up, still not a lot of movement on the Glenside Elementary project. As you know, that is through the final land development with the township. The bid opening for this project is next week. It was scheduled for Tuesday, but because we're getting some requests to push it back, we're thinking about moving it to Friday, just going to get us more participation. There is a tremendous amount of interest For the Glenside and the Cedarbrook project, I believe there's over 21 firms, construction firms, bonded firms who have requested electronic plans. So I get the feeling we're going to find the market rate for these projects, and hopefully our estimate is high for these projects. We'll find out soon enough. I'm getting the sense that there's not a lot of work out there, which is why we're getting so much interest, which is good for us in terms of cost. So also for Cedarbrook, I put that on the bottom, December 9th. That is a public meeting. We open the bids in front of all of the contractors in the auditorium where we have our legislative meetings and read all the bid results out loud. So we will do that next week. And then once we digest all the bid packages, make sure all the appropriate documentation has been supplied as requested, and analyze all the bid packages on December 9th. We'll recommend it for approval. So the way we're bidding this project is we are bidding in three ways. Bidders will have the choice to bid either of these projects separately or bid them together as one large project. So we're hoping that an individual if any firm that can handle, or construction firm that can handle both projects, might find some economies of scale by bidding them together and get us a better price. So we're bidding this three different ways. It also gives us the option of, if there's a market crash in a month, do we do one project, not the other? It just gives us a lot of flexibility as well. In terms of, not that I'm expecting a market crash, but it gives us more flexibility on how we approve this project. Any questions on the Glenside or Cedarbrook projects? Not really much of an update from last week in terms of cost estimate or spend. All right, moving on to district-wide projects. Last month, we spent a lot of time going around building to building and updating some of the ADA parking and safety features of the district with fresh paint, particularly where it was needed. As you can imagine, the high school was a target, as well as this building and some elementary schools. On the admin building, there were several projects underway. There's still quite a few spots where we have water coming in after heavy rainfall. So this says brick pointing. It was more of brick waterproofing that was done to prevent water from coming down the more deteriorated mortar within the bricks on this part of the building, just north of the auditorium. And a lot of water was coming down in behind the brick and in behind this crevice where the building meets the wall, and ending up in our break room. There was also work done to replace a drain line in one of the restrooms that was leaking. And while the roofers were out assessing the roof, there were 7 areas of the building where they replaced some shingles, I guess not shingles, slate shingles, and addressed some leaks and some seams on the top of the roof as well. If you recall, over the summer, we approved the kitchen equipment bid with some of the food service money that we had in reserve to replace some of our obsolete and old and not properly functioning pieces of equipment. And a lot of those pieces of equipment were installed this past month. The steamer and the convection oven at the high school where it was installed. Also using food service funds, the kitchen freezer was fixed. It was an ongoing issue with a leak coming out of the drain line. You can see it was leaving quite a mess and hampering the function of the freezer to cool properly. Another picture of that. Some of the other buildings will get to the kitchen install. Also at the high school, we had a sewer line leak in the front of the building. It was a very old terracotta pipe that had cracked and started to leak. So we had to dig that up. It was a little bit costly to dig that up and replace the pipe. And added a clean out so that we wouldn't have to make any sort of major repair going forward. Also at the high school, the main lobby was refreshed and paint was added. Moving on to Cedar Brook, if you drove down 309, you probably noticed that there was a giant tree where it shouldn't be on top of the track. So this tree is in the process of being removed, and unfortunately, the reason it fell over, it was because of some substantial rot. So unfortunately, the tree itself couldn't be saved, so the whole tree has to come out, which is a shame. Those are beautiful trees lining down 309. Going back,
For those that, sorry, the trees on the inside of the fence or the outside of the fence?
the large trees right on the inside.
Right on the inside. Oh, that is too bad. Okay, thank you.
One question. Was that the only tree falling around Cedar Brook? I know we've had some community members recently.
That was
in the community. That was the only one we lost. Yeah. That we're aware of. Right.
Always it.
a lot of work was done on the other side of the property to address some of the dead and decaying trees and eliminate any potential hazards.
Thank you.
At Cheltenham Elementary, also part of that bid, steam was installed there. And at Glenside Elementary, a new steam table was installed. Moving on to Wyncote Elementary, currently in preparation to do some concrete work to fix some of the deterioration on the asphalt behind the basketball court and to level out this ground so it's not so much of a tripping hazard and safety hazard for students as they're playing on the playground.
Ms. Blitzstein?
Do we know, how long that repair work should take? And if kids are still allowed to utilize the space, like the blacktop area, while it's being prepped? I'm just making sure, like, it's not too long of a process that our kids have to be off of the playground.
I don't believe they're off the playground, but I honestly don't know that
Okay.
the time frame. I'd have to ask Anthony. He's been kind of spearheading that whole.
And that's why those orange barriers are there.
Right.
Just to keep them on beyond. So they are, I can tell you, they are.
Okay.
Was it any questions on any slides?
Questions? Bowman?
A question, excuse me. Specifically on one of the slides, I love the fallen tree. It also made me think about the fallen tree. Cedar Brook made me think about it. Where do things stand, and maybe this is a question for our solicitor, where do things stand with the drain that we have that has been backing up and causing like overflow and water and,
At Cedar Brook?
yeah.
So years ago, that had been, the company came out, this is before I got here, but I spent a wonderful amount of time going back and looking at that repair that was done. So a lot of construction debris, my understanding, was lodged in one of those pipes. It was scoped, the whole site was scoped, all the debris was cleared and removed, and now it flows.
Yeah, so that big rain that we just recently had, we had no backup.
Oh, that's
Normally,
great.
that's something where everybody would have been on call.
Yeah.
And
that's
no,
good.
I'm been on,
Yeah.
and we would have been monitored.
Yeah.
So that's.
That's great. Okay, thank you.
But also on top of that, that's the perfect segue. As part of the Cedar Brook project, we believe through our new civil engineer, through factual study and practice, that the work that was done at Cedar Brook Middle School back at that time was somewhat insufficient. Meaning pipe sizes should have been larger, downspouts should have been larger, and stormwater basins should have been larger. So that part of this project is to address what we feel were, in essence, volume miscalculations, which also led to that rainwater issue.
Thank you. Glad that it's being addressed now.
We'll take it, every option for recourse we can. As well.
Thank you. Any other board questions? we have any questions online? Look like it. All right, next one, picture. All right, thank you, Mr. Sweigard, and thank you, Mr. Carter, and I will take a motion to adjourn. So, second. Meeting is adjourned.